Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Delaware Public Service Commission's May 17th meeting. Is there anyone here from a water company? They didn't have the guts to show up. I was going to tell them to turn the spigot off. Goodness gracious. I'm not sure how many days it's rained, but Commissioner Conaway tells me it set a Sussex County record, which means it's probably a Delaware record.
17 days.
If anybody has any influence, please tell them to moderate the rain at least. We have the first thing on the calendar is the reading of the meeting minutes from May 3rd, both the public and executive session. Did any commissioner have any changes or modifications to those minutes?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to raise a question on the regular minutes on the last page, I believe. In the section that speaks to the director's comments, toward the bottom, we were coming out of executive into public session, and a motion was made by Commissioner Drexler and seconded by Commissioner Correa to consider FERC's decision to request a hearing, but I don't see the resolution of that motion in this record.
Yes. Okay, then so your suggestion is that we make a correction or amendment to the minutes indicating that that motion was passed?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner Gray. Are there any other comments with respect to the meeting minutes? Hearing none, are there any motions to be made with respect to those minutes?
Mr. Chair,
I move as corrected, we add of the minutes.
second.
Any discussion on the motion to approve the minutes as corrected? No further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I abstain because I wasn't here.
Any abstentions? Yes, there's one. And the motion passes. Consent agenda. There's only one item on the consent agenda.
You have the executive.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
I thought that the motion was with respect to the public and executive sessions. Am I mistaken? If so, I apologize. If someone needs to make a motion with respect to the executive session minutes.
It was. It included everything. It's implied. So.
Okay, so the comment on the executive session, I think we got a revision or change.
Yeah.
So as amended or as
that
edited?
That will be the main copy. So the one we got at home will not be a record. Okay. This will be the record.
Right. Madam Secretary, is the commissioner correct that on the?
Two motions. This one should be amended, and the other one should be corrected.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, with respect to the minutes for the executive session, I move that the Commission adopt the executive session minutes as corrected.
I second.
Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I abstain.
One abstention. Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioners. Consent agenda. Application of Delaware Power and Light. This is approval of the proposed order 8886. Any comments or questions? A motion, please.
Move we adopt the consent agenda as presented.
Seconded.
Any discussion on the motion to approve the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. In the regular agenda, in the matter of the application of Chesapeake Utilities Corporation for a general increase in its natural gas rates and for approval of certain other changes to its natural gas tariff, we have before us proposed order number 8878. Ms. Vayrak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. As the Commissioners are aware, on April 5th, the Commission heard oral argument from the parties in docket number 15-1734. This was an interlocutory appeal brought by Chesapeake Utilities Corporation that was challenging the hearing examiner's order, which granted interlocutory status to the Delaware Association of Alternative Energy Providers, Inc. And at that meeting, the commission heard oral argument and decided to deny the interlocutory appeal of Chesapeake Utilities Corporation and allow the hearing examiner's order to stand, which also meant that the Delaware Association of Alternative Energy Providers' status as an intervener in this docket was also allowed to stand. Order number 8878, which is before you today, simply memorializes that decision. And all the parties have had the opportunity to review the order and comment on it, and I believe there is no opposition to the order.
Is there anyone else here from that docket that wishes to make any comment? I don't see anyone that's present for that purpose. Any commissioner have any questions of Ms. Mayrack with respect to the agenda item?
Chair, I move that the commission adopt order number 8878 as submitted.
Second the motion.
Is there any discussion on the motion to approve proposed order number 8878? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Mayrack. The next item on the regular agenda is in the matter of the provisions of standard office supply to retail consumers in the service of territory of Delmarva Power and Light Company. Good afternoon, Ms. Scott.
Good afternoon, Chair Winslow and Commissioners. Pam Scott here on behalf of Delmarva Power. This order is to approve Liberty Consulting Group's technical report that was provided to you in March concerning the SOS procurement process and the results, and also to approve on a temporary basis the 2016 SOS PCA and RAM filing that Delmarva made on April 1st, 2016.
Ms. Mayrack?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of staff, as Ms. Scott has summarized, this is for Delmarva's annual filing with respect to the standard offer service rates, procurement cost adjustment, and reasonable allowance for retail margin. This order accepts the consultant's report, approves temporary rates, and directs Delmarva to publish notice of this docket, and then this will be considered later upon further staff review and the opportunity for other parties to comment. And staff urges the adoption of this order.
Thank you, Ms. Mayrack. Andrew, do you have anything on this, Ms. Moucher?
Public advocate has no objection to the proposed order.
Thank you very much. Any commissioners have any questions about the proposed order?
Rates, yes,
Sure.
Rates go into effect,
June 1st, on a temporary basis.
and you'll notify in newspapers.
Yes, we will.
Move we adopt order number 8887 as presented.
I second.
Is there any discussion on the motion to approve proposed order number 8887? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Scott, Ms. Mayrack, and Ms. Moucher. The next item on the regular agenda is in the matter of the provision of renewable energy portfolio standards, compliance charge, and credit rate to retail consumers in the service territory of Delmarva Power and Light Company. Ms. Scott.
Thank you, Chair Winslow and Commissioners. This is a companion to the SOS filing that you just addressed. This concerns the Renewable Energy Portfolio Standards Compliance Charge and Credit Rate. Again, that's filed on an annual basis, April 1st, 2016. This order would permit the rates to go in effect on a temporary basis, subject to refund, beginning June 1st, and also requires that we publish notice of the proposed rates in the News Journal and Delaware State News.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Ms. Mayrack?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Again, this is the annual filing with respect to the Renewable Energy Portfolio Standards Compliance Charge, Rate, and Credit Rate for 2016. This order opens the docket, places temporary rates in effect, and directs Delmarva to publish notice. Staff will then undertake review and come back to the commission at a later date, and staff supports adoption of Order 8888.
Thank you, Ms. Mayrack. Ms. Moucher?
No objection to the proposed order.
Any commissioners have any questions regarding the matter, Ms. Drexler?
Yes, I have a comment. The exhibit will be attached to the order, Exhibit A, is that correct? Okay, the bottom of page 1 of Exhibit A is repeated on the top of page 2. The words starting with "and whose contract included" it's the same thing at the top of the next page. So I think one of those should be updated. That's all.
Are there any further questions? Hearing none, would the commissioner kindly make a motion to approve the proposed order 8888 as corrected by Commissioner Drexler?
I motion to approve order number 8888 as corrected.
Seconded.
Is there any discussion on the motion to approve order 8888 as corrected? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Scott.
Thank you.
And Ms. Mayrack. Good job, Ms. Moucher. The next is the hearing schedule, and that is absent of any action. So that we go to public comment, and I don't see anybody from the public here, but just in case, is there anyone here that wishes to make any public comment to the commission? No one is approaching, so it's our director's comment section.
Good afternoon, Chair Winslow, Commissioners. Happy rainy Tuesday. The staff will be busy holding public comment sessions on the Chesapeake Utilities rate increases for natural gas. This Tuesday, tonight, at 6 o'clock here in our Dover office will be a public comment session. On Wednesday, we'll have the luxury of being at Middletown High School for a public comment session on the Chesapeake rates. And on Thursday, we'll have the even better luxury of being at the American Veterans Post 2 in Millsboro, Delaware, to hear comments on the Chesapeake proposed rate case. I'd like to personally recognize Mr. Jason Smith for making these wonderful arrangements. I'm sure he must have had something to do with it, along with the hearing examiner, so appreciate that. We also have scheduled an evidentiary hearing in PSC complaint docket 160008, which is the Emblem Associates versus Artesian Water Company complaint. It revolves around the contribution in aid of construction that was required for Emblem Associates to receive service. That will be held on Wednesday, June the 1st at 9 a.m. in our Dover office, and if need be, we'll continue over into Friday, June the 3rd at 10 a.m. And our next commission meeting will be on Tuesday, June the 7th.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Just for everyone's information, I will be attending the PGM annual meeting on behalf of OPSI. So I have the privilege of going to Cambridge, Maryland, and through the rain after this meeting. And I've had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Farber about some issues related to our participation in PJM. And so I'm looking forward to a great meeting. And anybody else have any comments they would like to make? Looks like no one's eager to. Yeah, we do. Commissioner Bray, thank you.
Just one comment, Mr. Chair, that a number of persons have come to me and indicated their appreciation for the credits that have come as a consequence of settling the Exelon deal with Delmarva. So there's lots of thanks and praise coming back to the utility sector as a result. Thank you.
I will attempt not to be cynical, and I hope that joy continues for a long period of time. Okay, thank you all very much for attending. We are adjourned.